Hello everyone, my name is Kelvin, and I've always been fascinated by how things work, especially anything related to clean energy. Today, I'm excited to tell you the story of how I learned to create energy from the wind, a journey that completely changed the way I see the world. I still remember the first time I stood on a hill surrounded by spinning wind turbines. Their blades carved through the air with a silent confidence, almost like giants turning slowly in a peaceful dance. At that moment, I realized that the wind, something invisible, something we often ignore, holds enough power to light up entire cities. But before I ever reached that hill, I knew almost nothing about how wind energy actually worked. My journey began long before the turbines came into view. When I was younger, I constantly heard about climate change, pollution, and the need for renewable energy. These topics were always in the news, but they never felt real to me until the summer I joined a student science program. The program focused on environmental solutions, and on the very first day, our mentor announced, "You will each choose one type of renewable energy and research how it works." Without hesitating, I chose wind energy. I wanted to understand how something as gentle and unpredictable as wind could be turned into electricity. My research started with the basics. I learned that wind itself exists because of the sun. When the sun heats Earth unevenly, some areas become warmer, making the air rise. Cooler air moves in to replace it, and this movement is what we call wind. This simple idea amazed me. Wind is not random at all. It is the echo of sunlight traveling across our planet. My next discovery was about the wind turbine, the machine responsible for capturing this natural movement. Turbines usually stand tall, sometimes over 100 meters high. Not because engineers like big machines, but because wind is stronger and steadier at higher altitudes. Each turbine has 3 long blades, carefully shaped like airplane wings, so that when wind flows across them, it creates lift. This lift makes the blades rotate around a central hub. Watching a video of this mechanism felt like watching nature and engineering shake hands. But spinning blades alone don't produce electricity. The real magic happens in the nacelle, the turbine's head. The nacelle houses a gearbox and a generator. When the blades spin, the rotor shaft turns as well. However, the blades spin slowly, too slowly, to generate electricity. That's where the gearbox steps in, increasing the rotational speed so the connected generator can produce electrical energy. It was fascinating to learn how a gentle breeze can become rapid mechanical motion inside the turbine. As electricity leaves the generator, it travels down through cables in the tower to a transformer. The transformer increases the voltage so the energy can travel long distances through power lines. By the time it reaches homes, schools, and hospitals, the wind that once floated freely over fields and oceans has become the light glowing in someone's living room or the power keeping a computer running. Everything sounded so clean, so simple, and so perfect, at least in theory. But my understanding was still incomplete. I needed to see wind energy in real life. Fortunately, our program arranged a field trip to a coastal wind farm. That day changed everything for me. The wind farm was massive. Dozens of turbines stood in neat rows along the coast, their blades spinning in perfect sync. The closer I walked, the larger they seemed, almost like white metal trees towering over the landscape. The sound surprised me too. Instead of a loud mechanical noise, I heard only a soft whoosh each time a blade sliced through the air. A technician named Amelia guided us through the site. She was warm, knowledgeable, and clearly passionate about her work. She explained that turbines require constant monitoring as wind speed changes every hour. If the wind becomes too strong, turbines automatically shut down to protect themselves. This safety system ensures that, even during storms, the machines stay safe while waiting for the wind to calm. I asked her what she loved most about her job. She smiled and said, "Wind energy is a partnership with nature. We don't force the earth to give us anything. We simply borrow what it already offers." That sentence stayed with me for months. Later, she took us inside one of the turbine towers. A long ladder stretched upward, toward the nacelle. Although we couldn't climb it for safety reasons, she described the view from the top. "It feels like standing at the edge of the world," she said. You see the ocean stretching forever, and the turbines look like guardians watching over it. After that trip, I started studying wind energy more seriously. I learned about offshore wind farms built far out at sea, where winds blow stronger and more consistently. I discovered new turbine designs, including floating platforms for deep waters and vertical axis turbines for cities where space is limited. I also learned about the challenges. Birds can collide with turbines. Construction costs are high, and wind is not always predictable. But engineers and scientists around the world are constantly finding solutions: smarter placement, advanced sensors, better forecasting models, and blade designs that reduce harm to wildlife. The more I learned, the more I wanted to contribute. I eventually built my own small wind generator for a school project. It was nothing like the giant machines I saw at the wind farm, of course. Mine was built with wood, small blades, and a tiny generator. But the moment the blades turned and the LED light blinked on, I felt like I had unlocked a secret of the universe. Creating energy from wind is not just science. It is a reminder that we can innovate without destroying our planet. We can use intelligence instead of force. We can live with nature instead of fighting against it. That realization shaped my dream, to become an engineer who designs cleaner, smarter wind systems for the future, today. Whenever I see a wind turbine standing tall against the sky, I feel a quiet respect. I think about the sunlight that created the wind, the engineers who built the turbines, the electricity flowing into homes, and the possibility of a cleaner world. The journey of wind energy is really the journey of human hope, the belief that we can create power without causing harm, and that is the story of how I discovered the beauty of wind energy. I hope it inspires you too, just as the wind inspired me.